Now I'm heading to a local temple which is called Tianying Si. I think this is the most famous temple in Haiyan The guy was looking at me. I got asked by a lot of people, mostly foreigners, want to visit China, but they are a little bit like hesitated. The question was, is it still safe and worth to visit China in 2025? China is kind of like welcoming people coming to China to visit Beijing, Shanghai, and the other mega cities. I think the situation is kind of like different as before. Before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I think when the economy in China was fairly good, relatively good, better than these years, especially the recent 5 years. After the pandemic, the economy is kind of like slowing down, and a lot of foreign companies are closed, and a lot of headquarters, international firms are moving out of China. So obviously, in China, the foreign expats are significantly reduced, especially in Shanghai. As a tourist, I don't think it's a big problem for you coming to the country just for a couple of days. Not a couple of days, but for like 14 days. You stay in China, you try to see the most famous, historical sites, scenic spots, Great Wall, the Bound of Shanghai. If you come into China for a tourism purpose, I think it is still an ideal destination because, to be honest, comparing to Scandinavia and the other European countries, I think the accommodation cost is very, very low. In China, you can just pay like 200 or 300 RMB. You can live in a fairly good hotel. But in Scandinavia, after the pandemic, you have to pay like 3,000 RMB to stay overnight in Copenhagen or something like that, right? So in this sense, I think it is still a very ideal destination, but you have to be aware about yourself, because don't bring your political opinions and try to argue with people if they have different opinion with you. I think I'll stop here and let's move to the temple first. I just sneaky into the private garden from this back door. There was a construction worker told me to do it. I did it. I think this is a scenic spot. Usually you have to buy a ticket to come into here, maybe. The traditional Chinese gardening. And a little boat floating in the pond, and a little stone bridge. So here it's quite chill, not like under the sun. It's quite hot. This is called a Yuan. I think this is a relatively small rich people's backyard. In China, especially along the Yangtze River region, the traditional Chinese gardens are almost the same. Now you got this like crazy middle-aged aunties. They are trying to do something with the tree. Yeah, but it's quite usual in China. Don't get surprised. Yeah, so just having a rest. There are a lot of mosquitoes here. And I think I have to continue my trip. I don't want to spend a lot of time in this garden. Not very unique. Let's take a look at this local walking pedestrian. It's called the Dongjialong Buxingjie. Dongjialong is the location name. Buxingjie means walking streets. Wow. This is the real population reside. So now, once you get into this kind of like a business street, you feel the hustle and bustle, right? Pretty nice. I mean, these local shops are only serving to the local people, and the residential compound are just built along the street. Occasionally found this back street, a lot of scooters parking along the street, but on the left side, these are like mahjong street. You see people are playing mahjong here. I think this is the very typical entertainment. And you got Chairman Mao here on the windows. Weird. And yeah, so these are basically just mahjong street. Back alley mahjong street. People are playing mahjong here. Basically like a senior retired population.
啥意思啊？
Retired people's entertainment life in back street of Haiyan County. Obviously, it's a healthy entertainment than dodgy massage stores, right? Anyway, let's get out. Take a look at this gigantic bronze statue. A monk wear robes, standing in the middle of the temple. This temple spent a lot of money to build this huge statue. And in front of this statue, they set up this table, which is a provision of the food to the Buddha. There are biscuits, cigarettes, maybe incense, and some others, the apple. I think it's the time to leave this county. It's just a normal place with a little bit, architecture that you can see some small business street. Yeah, I think it's quite early. So I decided to go to another place, maybe just close to here. Maybe I'll find some historical site over there. All right, guys, so scooting time. I don't have a big intention to do the scooting in this county because I walked down to this street. It wasn't very interesting. A lot of shops located on the left side, they are ready or they are waiting to be demolished. So the older part is almost like removed. Anyway, for this year, my plan is I will do a little bit like Shanghai satellite towns and counties like this one, this Haiyan. By the way, Haiyan literally means sea salt. I think go back to the older time, this county is used to produce the salt for Chinese people to consume. I came out from this private garden. It is called Liuyuan, or it is called Yiyuan. Sorry, Yiyuan. This is the main gate, and I didn't even pay the gate ticket. So China has this kind of like loopholes that the local people always know, and if you know the locals, they will tell you to avoid a lot of like gate tickets of the scenic spots because usually if it's a big mountain, they cannot block every little pass, right? And most of the time they leave the back doors for the locals to get in. There usually has a back door, but you need a local guide to tell you how to get around the gate tickets. I mean, don't blame me. This is quite usual in China, and that's what I did. I drove like 50 kilometers to this little village. Actually, they have like an ancient wall segment. It is very close to the sea. Wait, is it close to Qiantang River or close to the sea? I think it is close to the Qiantang River. I can have an overlook of the entire riverside. It looks okay, right? But I don't think it's an old one. Maybe only this part of the wall is the old one. And this is called the Ganpu Chenqiang. So in Chinese, Chenqiang means city walls. Chen means city, Qiang means wall. This place isn't very popular. Only the basement, as we can see from the back of the city wall, there is a very little wall preserved, but it was used during the Ming Dynasty, like 13th century or 14th century, around that period. Basically, it was destroyed during the wars. If you just search on Google or Chinese Baidu or other search engines, it will tell you something. People take a shady picture on it, and you don't really see it by your own views. The spot is hitting, and the mission is accomplished. Exploration in the little valleys. Wow, look at this. This guy must be very rich. I dare not to invade their backyard. Must be a rich villager. Oh, this is not not a normal alley street. Ganpu ancient town. A military village. Still got a granny carrying, I don't know, 2 buckets. Interesting. A developed village for tourists. Obviously, I'm the only tourist here. This is another family, which is, it's a villa, right? This house isn't small, and this door is brand new. So, rich villagers. This is a high-end, rich village. Everywhere, no matter where you go, some nice renovation. And here, what you will get? It's a dodgy area. I don't even want to get further. A lot of mosquitoes. Oops. Oh yeah. 好会跳. There was a granny sitting on the ground. Shocked me. They used these marbles to renovate their main gate. My God. Maybe the government spend the money. See what I mean? Because this is an example to show the rich side of China. Okay. I think that's fair enough for me. For some reason, this little village is renovated brand new. White wall, clean. Look at the street. Super clean, right? Everyone got upgraded houses. Oh, this is quite unusual in China. Usually when I walk into a village, it's quite old, the wall molded. Sometimes the decoration is falling off. This location isn't some very popular, famous touristy destination. Almost nobody knows it. Fair enough for me here in Ganpu little village. I'm going back.